The Assam Accord is a crucial element of India's political and social history, particularly in the context of safeguarding the rights of indigenous people of Assam. Signed in 1985 after prolonged protests and negotiation, the accord seeks to protect the political, cultural, and economic rights of the Assamese people. In regards to UPSC preparation, understanding its background and key provisions is essential for a thorough grasp of India's federal structure, regional movements, and constitutional safeguards. Let's understand what is Assam Accord. The Assam Accord was a landmark agreement signed between the Government of India and the leaders of the Assam movement on 15th August 1985. The movement, spearheaded by the All Assam Students Union, was primarily concerned with the influx of illegal migrants from Bangladesh, which was perceived to threaten Assam's demography, economy, and its culture. The accord aims to address these concerns by laying down clear mechanisms for the identification and deportation of illegal immigrants while also providing various safeguards for the Assamese people. Among its many clauses, Clause 6 is perhaps the most significant as it mandates constitutional, legislative, and administrative safeguards to preserve and promote the cultural, social, and linguistic identity of Assam's indigenous populations. However, implementing this clause has been challenging as defining Assamese people has proven controversial over the years. In 2019, the retired Justice Biplab Sharma Committee was formed to recommend concrete ways to implement Clause 6. The committee's primary focus was on establishing criteria for defining the term Assamese people. The committee recommended that anyone whose roots in Assam could be traced back to before January 1st, 1951 be considered Assamese. This recommendation was based on the historical census data, notably the National Register of Citizens. The selection of 1951 as the cutoff year is important because it aligns with the census record that existed before the large scale migration triggered by the India Pakistan partition. The idea was to offer a clear definition of who qualifies as an Assamese for the purpose of implementing constitutional safeguards, protecting cultural rights, and preserving land ownership. However, it is important to note that this definition will not impact areas such as voting or employment rights. Let's now see the key recommendations by the committee. The government has already begun implementing some of the 52 key recommendations from the Biplab Sharma committee. One of the major recommendations was to restrict land ownership to only Assamese people. This was seen as necessary to protect the indigenous population from being disposed of their land by outsiders. Additionally, the government proposed a program to grant land titles to long-time occupants who have been living on land without formal ownership. The committee also recommended that Assamese be maintained as the official language of the state with compulsory teaching of Assamese in schools. This would help preserve the linguistic identity of the region. At the same time, provisions were made for protection of other regional languages to ensure inclusivity. Another important recommendation was the establishment of an authority for the development of cultural sites. This would include funding for the preservation and the promotion of indigenous cultural practices, traditions, and festivals that reflect the Assamese identity. While several recommendations have been accepted, and are being implemented, others remain contentious. For instance, the introduction of the inner line permit, a system which restricts the entry of outsiders into certain states, is still under debate. The inner line permit, or ILP, is already in place in states like Nagaland and Mizoram, but its applicability in Assam is still undecided. Additionally, the demand for reservation for Assamese people in political and employment spheres has not been fully accepted by the government. While some forms of reservation might be introduced, broad implementation across sectors has not yet been realized. The Assam Accord and its implementation have far fetching or far reaching implications, not just for Assam, but for the country as a whole. On the other hand, it sets a precedent for addressing the rights of indigenous people, balancing regional autonomy with national unity. It also raises difficult questions about identity, belonging, and complex reality of migration. With respect to UPSC preparation, it is crucial to understand how Assam Accord fits within the larger context of Indian federalism, social justice, and the constitutional safeguard. It touches on key areas like citizenship, migration, and minority rights, which are all vital topics for the civil service examination.